Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 23, think about that one, of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, and I'm a perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter. Sick, but here to learn with you all.
I know, you poor thing. She's an absolute trooper today. Since we recorded the last one, you've just not recovered.
No.
But it has been really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I took Rowan to the doctors the other day, and the doctor was just like, yeah. I mean, she took one look at her and went, I know what's wrong with you.
You sick.
You're sick. You is sick, girl. Because it was literally, everybody's had this bug.
Yeah. Thanks, Rowan.
Well, okay, don't blame your sister. Everybody's had it, though. Literally, I've had it, Scott's had it, you've had it. I don't think Jenna had it, though.
No, but you and I have had it twice. Scott had it twice.
Jenna didn't get it at all. Wow. But then again, that girl's never worn a coat since she was born.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe actually being irresponsible.
You should just not care. And never
It's a mind over matter thing.
Or maybe just have an immune system that's bulletproof.
We all can't be 17, though.
No, we all can't be 17. I wouldn't want to be. Do you know, genuinely?
No, I couldn't, no.
Genuinely, somebody asked me this the other day, wouldn't you want your 20-year-old, wouldn't you want to be 20 again? Oh, imagine, I was like, oh my hell no. The thought of being 20 year again is just horrific.
What is a good age, then, that you'd, 50. Decade, you'd like to go back?
50.
For a day?
No. I couldn't bear it.
Okay.
I am so content being 50.
Genuinely
at peace, happy, would not want.
I actually put a post up in our life coaching group 2 or 3 months ago. Just that one. Just as a fun poll, which decade you've enjoyed of your age the most, as in 20s up until 60s. Most people said their 50s.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I think 2 people said their 20s and that was it. But they might be in their 30s, we don't know.
Yeah. No, it's delicious. Because, so I was on TikTok, because chronically online, and this guy yesterday was saying, how do you guys do it? Do you just go and eat in a restaurant on your own? Like, how can you just go and have a meal on your own? And all the women my age went, you just go into a restaurant, order your food, sit down and enjoy. And he was like, I don't get it. And it's like, it's called not giving a shit.
I think during the day, during the normal working day, we have more to think about than how am I going to eat in a restaurant? It's very empowering.
It was a guy, he must have been, if I had to guess, he was like, I'd say early 30s. And he was like, just how do you do that? And I was just like, it's called being comfortable in your own skin, not caring what other people think. I have got more things on my, let's say, for example, I've gone to meet a client, I've had a one-to-one meeting with a client, I'm meeting another client, or I've got some other form of thing going on, and I need to eat. I will think, oh, fantastic. I can go and have a bit of me time. I can go and either stare out and watch the pigeons while I'm eating.
Yeah.
Or I can people watch. Or I can sit and just be whilst I eat. That's like luxury me time.
That guy can't spend time on his own. He's not comfortable being on his own then.
Do you know, I felt like putting a red flag. Do you know what would be lovely? If we could put red flags on men's accounts secretly, like a woman, right, bear with. Do you know you can make you can buy whistles that only dogs could hear? Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if you could put flags on accounts that only women could see?
Oh my God, yeah, that flag guy account could do it for us.
Yes.
Dustin Porter.
You know the green flag, red flag?
Yeah, Dustin.
Right.
I love him.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you have to find
Search Dustin Porter, flag guy.
Flag guy. Because he's like, in flag, he's honey
roast.
Brilliant. But do you know what I mean? If you could just put a flag going, this guy's chronically insecure, girls. He can't be on his own. Yeah. So he's the kind of guy that's going to want to move in with you really, really quickly.
I tagged Dustin in green in posts that I think men are green flags
Yeah.
or red flags.
Oh,
People
really?
post it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tag him in it, and then he makes the videos off it.
Honestly.
Brilliant,
Don't
man.
know how we digressed. So quickly.
This was a good shout out to Dustin.
Yeah, Justin, we love you.
No,
Lots of love, Dustin.
Dustin, yeah.
Yes, we love you, darling. Right, don't know what I'm doing with them. I digress. What are we talking about, my lovely Gabriella?
So this is actually really funny.
Okay.
It's really funny. It's only funny just because. So this lady called Sally, I don't know where she's from. She didn't post anything, but she was listening to the last episode of the podcast, and she was
Thank
like,
you.
"Do you know what? I'll take one for the team.
Oh,
I'll
God.
ask
Oh, no.
about when we were discussing hormones with teenagers and stuff."
Oh, yeah.
So what she said that she'll
Okay.
take one for the team and
Good
ask the
old
question.
Sally.
So the question that she put it was, so she said she'll take one for the team and then wrote me a question. She just said she'd like to understand how to balance having teenagers in perimenopause, but also
I did say someone take one for the team.
with teenage hormones.
Yeah.
Not
My
obviously just
specialist subject.
and not just females, because it's not just
Yeah.
period hormones. It's boys as well.
Okay. No, I did.
Legend, Sally.
Well done. I did actually sign myself up for this one. I've got to put my money where my mouth is now, haven't I? Be careful what you wish for. Okay.
Sally's on it.
So, right.
Good one.
Good one. Careful what you wish for. Right. So, balancing. I'm just putting this in my head. Ooh, I wasn't expecting this one. Right. Balancing teens or balancing parenting teens with perimenopause is really hard.
You have two.
Well, yeah, I mean,
two teenagers.
and your lovely self, who's 24. But it's perfectly natural to feel a range of emotions. I think we have to start with that. So anybody that's got teenagers and is in perimenopause, I just want to say, I feel your pain. Okay? So solidarity. What's the have you seen Mockingbird where they do a sign? I think we ought to develop a sign. So this is just, bear with me, but I think we ought to have a sign or some kind of symbol or a sticker or a badge, and that puts us all in the same club. That says
having teenagers.
We're perimenopause and teenagers. There ought to be like a pin or a sticker or
and then
badge.
What, you just see each other from a while and you
go,
you.
We give some kind of symbol, some kind of like, I feel your pain. Okay, so it's rough. It really is. The only thing that would be rougher is if you have toddlers.
Which I think some women would.
No, some women do.
Yeah.
But I think that was the only thing that would be the only thing that would be worse than having being perimenopausal and having teenagers would be having a terrible two.
So toddlers are worse than teenagers.
Toddlers are worse than teenagers. Or just different bad.
Yeah.
Just because they'd be exhausting. So basically you're both going through transformative stages, and they're both very demanding, and they're both tumultuous. They're both like roller coasters. So it's no small feat, and you're both sets of you. So I don't know if you've got. Did she say how many she's got?
No.
Okay.
It was a lull kind of.
It was a lull. Okay. So basically, both you and your teen/teens. I'm going to presume it's teens.
Yeah.
Just because shits and matters.
She did say teenagers.
Okay,
so
let's presume it's more than one. So you're going through. Both of you are going through hormonal shifts, and that can feel very, very overwhelming. So I just want to say, first and foremost, it's okay that you find it challenging. So that's why I always say that at the beginning of every podcast, but it really is. It's okay that you find it challenging. It's okay that it's hard. It's okay that it's overwhelming. It's not okay for you, but it's okay that you are finding it so, because we all do. So it's just to say that at the beginning, it's not you, it's all of us.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, let's talk about what's going on hormonally for them, and then what's going on hormonally for you. So if you understand that hormones impact their emotional responses, I think is first and foremost. So,
they're quite reaction-based people, aren't they, teenagers?
Yes, absolutely. So teenage years are marked by hormones like estrogen, testosterone, and growth hormones. And that's the one that we sometimes forget, especially with boys. So girls may have peaked with their growth hormones early. And obviously, I don't know if Sally has girls or boys. Yeah. But girls might have their growth hormone stages pre-periods, or usually they're bigger ones. So girls might be a little bit growth hormone-y earlier, so they can sometimes have their surges, let's say sometimes year 7, year 8, whatever, and sometimes as early as year 6.
I was year 6, yeah.
Boys can be year 9, year 10, year 11, real teenage years.
Yeah.
So it depends if you have girls or boys, but anyway, so teenagers have estrogen, testosterone, and growth hormones, and they really do lead to mood swings. And when you have that, you're going to have impulsivity. So they're going to do things on a whim, and real heightened sensitivity. So it's like you blow on them with a feather and they explode. And this is why for teenagers, they have extreme emotional reactions. Like, and you're looking at them going, what was that? You know, you look at them. And
I look at my sister sometimes and go, "What happened? What happened?"
Yeah, we were all just sitting here being normal human beings, and you walked in and dropped a bomb and left.
Yeah,
excuse me, and that's really what it's like. And they have heightened sensitivity to absolutely everything. Like you're having a very, very normal conversation, and they're very, very sensitive to things like passive aggression.
Yeah.
So you can't be passive aggressive with them. You have to say, you can't say, wouldn't it be lovely if somebody emptied the dishwasher? It's going to make them just lose their shit. It's better to say, please could you empty the dishwasher? I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah,
then wouldn't it be lovely if someone did this? If somebody would help me in the house, I'd feel so much better. Is awful for them.
And I hear that a lot actually from mothers and from it. Really
it's better just to say, and not even say, I've been at work all day and I'm really tired. So it would just mean the world to me if somebody, but nobody wants to do it. And everyone, don't do that. Don't do that. Just say, I'm going to cook dinner in half an hour. This is what I'm making. Would you please kindly do the dishwasher before I start? I'd really appreciate it. It's a much better way to tackle things. Yeah. Okay. They're very sensitive to perceived passive aggression. They're very sensitive to passive aggression. Yeah. Very, very sensitive to perceived criticism. Even if you're not actually criticizing them, but that whole thing is really, really bad. Okay. Yeah. So on the other hand, for you, you've got fluctuating levels of estrogen and progesterone and a declining testosterone. So you're going to be irritable, like everything feels like it's the last bloody straw.
Is it a different kind of irritability?
A different kind of irritability because your hormones are on the way out. Their hormones are on the way in. So they've got
they're learning the hormones still.
Well, they've got impulsivity and sensitivity. You've got irritability because you want that progesterone. Yeah, that progesterone is the soporific. That progesterone is calming. That's so you're the other way around. You're craving hormones back. They've been dumped all these hormones that they have no clue what to do with. So you've also got mood swings, but you've got fatigue. Yeah. Okay, because you're knackered. You're everything that you like. Your testosterone's buggered off, your estrogen's all over the place, and you've got like huge moments of fatigue and anxiety. So you're feeling really bad, but also you've got life responsibility because you're having to hold down a job. You're having to deal with their crap. Yeah. You're having to pay the bills. You might having to be dealing with elderly parents. Yeah. You might having to deal with pets that they can't be asked with anymore because they're all about themselves. Husbands. Don't even start. So you've got a real challenge because you might be dealing, as I said, with your parents and their medical stuff and their whatever's going on with them. So understanding these changes for both of you and just create, I know it sounds like, well, they just have to deal with their shit because I'm dealing with mine. But if you can create a space of more empathy, that you're both going through ups and downs and you're both, you're both having to deal with all of these things. And just, if you can get to a place where you both not are walking on eggshells, because that's not the point, but you both.
And then that brings up passive aggressiveness if you do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's really important is being able to have direct communication, especially with teenagers, again, rather than this passive aggression. So be direct but kind.
And that goes for boys and girls?
Definitely boys and girls. Honest communication, honest language. Don't let frustration build up for either person. When you're direct, you're actually, because women have this thing where we want to people please. So we, especially women, we learned at a very young age, I don't want to upset anybody, because you're their mother, you're aware that they're going through a lot, and you want to look after them, you want to be kind to them, you want to, you want them to be happy, although you'd quite cheerfully punch them in the face because you've got your own irritability, so it's a very double-edged sword at the moment.
No offense, guys,
but you're trying to make them happy, you're trying to make their lives happy, but then they roll their eyes and you're like, I'm going to stab you with this fork. But when you don't express to them what they're doing, you start to get resentful, and that's when the passive aggression builds up.
Yeah.
And then they're reacting to your non-verbal cues, like you're going like this, and you're trying not to, your fists start balling up, and you're like trying to hold yourself together. They start reacting to that, and their resentment starts building up, which could all have been avoided if you would just say, sweetheart, can you just nip upstairs and bring all your plates down, because I'm just going to pop the dishwasher on, would be a really easy way.
So what happens if you're in that position and then the teenager then rolls their eyes about it? You've asked them very nicely.
Yeah.
They then roll their eyes.
Don't react to it.
Okay.
Just say, I mean, that's the thing. You can't choose what other people do.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
We can never choose. So it's just a question of you can only choose your reaction to it.
Yeah.
So they are going through their thing, and you have to be able to choose your thing. So, I mean, I'm going to talk about self-care in a second, because that's a really important part of you dealing with somebody else's hormones in the same space. And I think the other thing is to model emotional awareness.
That's a good one.
Yeah, sometimes just acknowledging how you're feeling can help the other person, the teenager, understand that they're allowed. It can be powerful to talk about emotions and hormones. So, for example, if you can just acknowledge how you're feeling, saying things like, "I'm feeling a bit irritable today. I'm not feeling my best," can be really great to show the other person it's okay to communicate without blaming anybody. So it's really horrible. Teenagers also, like the three of you girls are really close to me, and if I was walking around with a face like a slapped ass, one of you might think you've done something to me, and then you might take that on board and think, "Oh, what's wrong with mummy? What's wrong with her? What have I done to her?"
Yeah, I know which one that would be as well. Of the children,
because one of you's a real empath and would take it on board, and then their mood, which one, their mood would start affecting everybody else's mood, and it's a ripple effect. Yeah. And then
if you have more than one teenager in the house,
and then
that affects the other one,
and then that would impact the other one, and then maybe that would then start a fight somewhere else, and then that would impact another one, and then they might fight with one of their friends, or they might then have a fight with the other parent or something. Yeah. So just by saying, "I'm not my best today," I'm feeling really, I'm really not at my best. So it gives people permission to just give you a bit of wide berth, or maybe just give you a bit of sympathy.
We went through that, you and me and Rowan, last week. All three of us in the house, and you were not very well and going through your own stuff. Rowan and I were on our periods, and we all just said, "Okay, I cannot sit with you today. I'm going to have to be on my own today." And everybody respects it.
And that's the point of clear. Can you see? Yeah, clear and honest communication.
I like that. It did make a difference, actually, thinking about what it did to us growing up. Of you can say, "I'm just really not in the mood today. I don't want to talk about it. Can I just be left alone?" And everyone goes, "Sure."
And no one's feelings get hurt.
No.
Because you can just say, "I'm hormonal.
Yep.
I'm having a bad hormone day.
Yeah. I'm having a bad day."
Yeah. And next time somebody's at the shop, chocolate will be much appreciated. Yeah. And or somebody will go, "Would you like me to make a hot water bottle?" Because we have that rule as well. Yeah. Anyone is allowed to...
Hot beverage.
Yes, a hot beverage. But anyone's allowed to call dibs on the hot water bottles.
Yes.
And the rule is somebody has to make one. Hot water bottle, hot beverage is a rule in our house, and chocolate.
Yes, that's a big one.
That's a big rule. And so anyone's allowed to claim, we have kind of mental vouchers.
Because I can't imagine, like, obviously I'm one of the children, but you as the mother dealing with your own stuff, and then two girls who are being hormonal. That's a lot.
Yeah. The thing
I'm so sorry.
But if you communicate, it gets a lot less tense. Because if I know you're hormonal, I'm just not going to poke the bear. Yeah. I'm just not going to go there. I'm just going to leave you in your den for the day. Yeah. And you're okay. So being honest with your feelings really, really helps. And I think the other thing is just getting practical tips, just managing your needs and managing your self-care, and, like we're saying, just take a few minutes out of your day for yourself. So when you're feeling irritable, the mother, or Sally in this case, the temptation is to push through and to think, I have to do it. I have to do it all. I'm Superwoman. I don't have time to sit and we have this thing. I've got too much to do. That's the point in perimenopause where you have to go, no, I'm not going to push through. I've got to take a few minutes to go on a small, time out yourself like you would your toddler. When your toddlers like lost their it when they were little. When you feel yourself being that irritable, you have to go on a timeout. Really important. Go for a short walk. Go for a bath. I mean, for me, adding water to myself really helps, like bath, shower, whatever. Manage your own emotions, because again, that ripple effect will bounce on yourself, will bounce on your team, whatever. Massively respect your team's boundaries. I always did this for you and your sisters. I never go into your room without permission, ever. Yeah. Jen said to me, why don't you come to my room?
As you should, though. Good on you for that.
Ever gone into your rooms when you're not there. I very rarely go into your rooms.
Period.
At all.
Yeah, even if we're in there
Nope.
and you knock and you wait for the response, and it's so, we're so appreciative of that. But it means a lot, actually, when parents do that. Cool. Because I've seen other parents that just barge in and it's stressful.
No, everybody needs their own space.
Yeah.
And everybody needs to feel they have their own safe space. And I have no business being in your room. And parents go, it's my house. No, my house, but that is your room. And unless there is something physically hazardous in there, like unless I need to call the exterminators, like there's, do you know what I mean? Like there's hazardous material, something's actually living, growing, whatever. It's your space to do with what you will. I mean, sometimes the girls will call me and say, I need a new, can you help me decorate? I want to change this. At that point, I will go up there.
That's an invitation then.
Exactly, if I'm invited. Yeah. But other than that, respect boundaries massively.
And how do the teens respect the mum's boundary or the parents' boundaries? Mum in this situation.
When you say to the teen, give me space. I'm not doing well. I need some space. That is the teen then need. When your mum says, when Sally says, I need a break, just give me a break, like I need, but not in a give me a break. It's kind of like, okay, let's start this conversation again when I've had an hour. Let's start this conversation at 7:30. So I will say to your sisters, I'm working right now, or I'm just taking time out for myself, and I'm very clear. Let's come back to me at 8 o'clock and let's have a conversation. I can't do this right now because I'm busy, but we've got a long car journey on Saturday morning. Let's hash it out. And I never say no. I say I can't right now, but I give them the appointment time. I'll always say, let's do it this time. Let's do it at this point. Yeah. So I think that really, really helps.
And you need to stick to that as the parent.
Yeah. And just realise that rest and nutrition is going to be your best friend for all of you. So try and do that together. Do you know, it's just, at the end of the day, I think perimenopause and teenage years, both of these phases will go. And what will remain is the kind of beauty of your relationship. So just try and have patience with each other. When you've got times when you're both okay, because it's not all at each other. So when you're both coincidentally okay, when the gods align and the universe gives you those little pockets of you're both okay at the same time, I think just find ways to laugh with each other, support each other, have fun with each other, and above all, just remember, breathe. You're okay.
And you're on the same team.
You're on the same team. It will pass, because you will get through perimenopause. They will get through their teenage. And just whenever you've got times when you're not at each other's, like when you're not just really both feeling rough, just remember that, have a laugh with each other, because you will both get through it, and what will stay will be the beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And as always, if you have any questions for us, please do reach out, WhatsApp us. Thank you so much for listening. And we will speak to you. Last week's the last show in season 1. Yeah. So we can't wait to wrap up this season with you, and we will speak to you next week. Take care. Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time, remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.